Hello. Um, while I'm out here, I was thinking, while watching it rain, I was just thinking, and I thought I might as well talk about something that's been on my mind while I'm out here, and uh, it's trying to fit in. You know, a lot of people that went to my school, they are not, like they go to church and they're lukewarm Christians, and they go to church and they just go and party and do whatever. And I've never really been one of those people to party, but uh, I recently, like, I'm new to this, really new, and I recently started, not really recently, I've been going to church for a couple of years, and I got saved a year ago, and it was the best experience of my life. And then I got baptized at my church, and everybody was very supportive about it. Everybody, like, more than I thought, because I didn't expect some of my family members to say, uh, you know, we're so proud of you and stuff. Like, I didn't expect that, because my family's not really a very, Christian family. Like, they don't go to church. We don't talk about it in the household, which I should probably start doing. I'm probably going to start talking about it more. So in case my mom and dad see this, I'm probably going to start talking about it more, because I feel like every one of my family members, it's so important that they need to, make an effort to try and get to know God and try and get saved. Like, if my family could get saved, that would be spectacular. Like, that's amazing. It's just the best feeling in the world to be saved, because, like, you just feel a sort of comfort like you've never felt before. And when I got saved, I was at church camp with my girlfriend, and she was the one who pushed me to go to that camp. While I was there, I was acting a fool. I was, like, not really, like, doing stupid stuff, but I was just mad because I was there. Like, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to make my own bed at church camp. I didn't know that we had to bring bedding, so I didn't have any bedding, and I was mad. And it was really dumb of me, really arrogant of me to act like that, and to talk like that, and to think like that. But I stayed. I stayed for her, because I love her with all my heart. So I stayed with her there, and I ended up getting saved, because I was thinking they were singing hymns and newer songs. I don't really know, but newer songs they were singing, and I just sat there and I thought, my great grandma passed away, like, four. I don't know. I'm not good with times. I don't know how long ago it was, but I know it was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe four maybe. So I was just sitting there thinking, like, I really hoped that and mind you, I never think like this. Like, I used to never think like this before I went to that church camp. I never thought about any of my family members' association with Christianity or God. But I thought, I'm like, I started crying. I broke down and I kind of cried, because I didn't know. I don't think she knew Jesus that well. She never talked about it to me, or she never talked about Christianity to really anybody, or at least while I was there. So I didn't really know, and I just cried. And I remember thinking that, like, I want to know God. I want to be saved. I want to not die and then just, disappear into hell or wherever, it's hell. But, I wanted to be saved. So I was crying, and my girlfriend's like, hey, they're about to ask people if they feel like God is on their heart and they want to get saved. They're about to ask people to go find somebody and pray. Go to my pasture, and if you feel it, if you feel like you want to be saved and you feel God on your heart, go pray with him and talk to him about it. And so I did, and then I ended up getting saved. And it was the greatest moment of my life. And there was a huge, I was burning up with, love for God and love for just everything, because I hadn't really been appreciating anything. It sucks to admit, but I've taken everything for granted up until that point. So I really just saw the world in a whole new light after that moment, and it felt amazing, But then, obviously, when I left church camp, I thought that I was good, I was strong, I was golden. But, church camp is a very holy place, and it's very easy to stay, Christian there. But I left church camp, and then I went home, and I'm like, yeah, I got this down. This is easy money. I'll just follow God without, worrying about it. Because it's easy money, but I just got saved. It's easy, Wrong. I was so wrong. It didn't take me long to go back to my sinful ways for the majority, It didn't take me long. I crumbled. I completely turned my back on God. I completely turned my back, and I was, I tried too hard, with my own willpower. And I learned later on that you really just have to pray to God and ask him for forgiveness, ask him for strength, wisdom, courage, just anything you need at that point in time. You just gotta ask God and kind of leave it in his hands. And that's what I've tried to do for the past however many years. At this point in my life, I feel very good right now with God, with Jesus. And I'm glad I'm making these videos. I don't know how they'll turn out, but I'm glad I'm making them, because right now I feel very, good with God. Because I'm putting action to what I want, to what I say, and I'm really just leaving it all with God. I'm praying every time. Every time I feel something like I'm about to sin, like I want to sin, because some sin you want to do, you feel joy doing it. But every time I feel like I want to sin or make fun of somebody or say a cuss word, because that was one of my problems, cussing. I always used to cuss, and then I stopped after dating my girlfriend, because she was big on not doing that. So obviously I stopped for her. But then I ended up stopping for myself, because I realized that it's not, it's a sin. And I didn't want to sin, obviously. So I prayed about it, and every time I felt like I wanted to sin again, and again, this is something my girlfriend taught me. She's going to be mentioned a lot, because she taught me so many things. She's the whole reason why I'm even, a believer. The whole reason why I like to now be called, my new title I would like to be called is Jesus Freak. I am a Jesus freak nowadays. And what's crazy? I used to make fun of people like me. I'm like, Jesus freak. What the heck? Geez, I don't want to be around a Jesus freak. Now I'm a Jesus freak, and it's amazing. Life's good, I feel great. And back to what I was saying. I just either yell out, or if I don't want to wake my parents or make anybody annoyed, I just pray, and I say, I rebuke you, devil. I rebuke you, because the devil works in your life a lot, and he's very tempting, and it's very easy to give in to his temptations. But, if you just stick true to what you've been taught, or you just stick true to Christianity, you stick true to Jesus, and really just sit there and think I want to be a better person for not only me, but obviously number one God, number one Jesus, and for everybody around me. I just want to be a better person for everybody around me. So I'm helping everybody out. I'm helping myself out. I'm helping Jesus. Well, not really helping Jesus, but I'm trying to glorify Jesus by doing all this, because it's I feel like I've been called to do that. So that's that's where we're at. Yeah. This will be my first official video, and I think it went well. If somebody sees it, amazing. If a bunch of people see it, glorious. If I'm the only one who sees this, or my friends are the only one who sees this, it's still fine. I guess I'll just have chats with my friends. So, yep, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, if you watched. Praise God.